What is up, my good people? It is Haley Rumbles. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight, we are talking about SummerSlam. These are my predictions for SummerSlam Night 1. I was originally going to do this in like a 1 or 2 part video. Was thinking about putting it together, but I'm gonna just separate it because I feel like there's so much that we need to go over. All right, my guys, let's get started. So we have night 1 is, I believe, going to be opening with the Hell in the Cell match with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi. I personally feel like that this match should be closing night 1. I understand why it's not closing, because I know that, you know, Punk has the main title right now and it makes sense for the person who holds the main title to main event.
I just hope everyone has fun.
I know when we get Roman Reigns, he doesn't follow that rule. He doesn't count because he's the best. You know, I'm a Roman Glazer, so don't even get me started with that. But I guess it does make sense. But I truly believe that Obafemi is going to win this. He's going to have it in the bag. I'm hoping that this is finally the end of Brock Lesnar. I'm not going to get into that because we could be here all day, but I'm not really a huge fan of the person he is, but as a wrestler, he's obviously changed the game. He broke the Undertaker's streak. I could go on. I am expecting this to be a brutal match, and I'm hoping that they let them have a long match, especially because I believe this is going to be free for the first hour on ESPN. So people who maybe don't have that subscription are going to be able to, excuse me, oh my God. People who don't have this subscription are going to be able to watch it on ESPN. So I feel like that makes for a better show, hopefully, because I do feel like at Mania their match wasn't very long. So I'm hoping that this is a long, brutal, it's Hell in the Cell. And you know what I want to see? Let me just use this as an example. I would like to see this being Paul Heyman on the side, Brock Lesnar, and I would like to see Oba take him like on the cage and boop. I just want to see him boop. I just want to see him boop. Fly away. I just want to see him fly. Like, I need Oba to take him and like throw him across the ring, off the ring, on top of the ring, throw him through a table, and then get on top of the Hell in the Cell cage, and kind of like how the Undertaker threw Kane. I want to see Paul Heyman go poof. Will I get that? Probably not, but they did put Paul Heyman through a table when Solo was the tribal chief for a little bit, so maybe we will get that. I don't know. Maybe we will get that. But I think this is going to retire Brock Lesnar, which makes me believe that I think Obafemi is definitely going to win this match. I do think it's going to be a really good match. Again, I think that it has had one of the best build-ups thus far. I do feel like some of the build-ups to SummerSlam have been a little That is something that we've talked about on our podcast, Too Sweet Society. If you haven't checked it out, you should check it out because it's an amazing podcast, you know. Hopefully, you know, this is the end of this chapter. Brock can retire. Oba can finally get his title shot like he was promised when he won King of the Ring, except then he decided to take that opportunity and pick Brock Lesnar or whatever, so hopefully that's the outcome we see. I do think it's overall going to be a really good match. For the next match, we have Liv and Io Sky. So it's number one crazy that it's been 100 days and Liv still has not defended her title. And the only reason I'm bringing this up is I don't think it's to any fault of Liv. I understand that she doesn't really have control over how creative books her. But I will say I'm not seeing people hold the same energy for her as they did for Jade Cargill, because y'all tortured that woman. You tortured her online and it wasn't necessary. I think the women's division as a whole could be booked better, which I think most people would agree with me when it comes to that. So I don't think Liv is winning this though, and there's a couple of reasons why. For one, I don't think that they're going to have this be a clean win. I think that Roxanne is going to show up and interfere, because they've been kind of like leaning towards that for weeks, that like she is kind of getting to her point where she feels like she's not like being thought about, because Liv's kind of being a little bit selfish when it comes to the opportunities, and you could tell that she's at her breaking point. And I guess she would technically be like a face for turning on Liv, but I still feel like it's kind of heelish. Doesn't really matter what you want to call her, but I think that that would lead into Roxanne being able to break out from the Judgment Day and kind of go and do her own thing, which I feel like she's talented enough and that's necessary. And hopefully that will lead to the implosion of the Judgment Day, because I don't know about you, but I'm sick of the Judgment Day. I am sick of the Judgment Day. I'm so sick of it. I was an original Judgment Day lover, and even like after Damian and Rhea left, like I didn't dislike it, but I feel like once Finn left, like at that point, like there's no original members left. It's not the Bloodline. As much as they're trying to make another faction like the Bloodline, it's not the Bloodline. It's not the Bloodline. It's never going to be the Bloodline, and I think that it's time. I feel like that everybody in that group is talented, but I feel like the being in the Judgment Day has taken away things from every single person in that group. So I think it's time. I think everyone thinks it's time. It's time. Like, we've had enough. It's enough. I also think that because Liv is cursed. Let's not forget, Liv is cursed. And Danhausen just helped the Knicks win for like the first time in over like 20 years, or I don't know the exact number, but everybody that Danhausen curses is screwed. So if they have Liv win without her being uncursed, that kind of like takes away from everything that the WWE has been doing with Danhausen, and because that has turned into such a big thing, again, I don't think that they're gonna be willing to ruin that over Liv and Io. I'm sure that that will continue to be a feud, but I don't think that, I don't see Liv beating Io for this. I don't. So my prediction for that is that Liv will lose because A, she's cursed, and because B, Roxanne is going to interfere and cause mayhem, cause her to either be distracted or do something to help Io Sky, and then I think that that might set us up for finally the end of the Judgment Day. But Liv does have like a lot of other options. I don't see them, even if the Judgment Day ends, I don't see Dom and Liv like splitting up. I think that they're way too popular together, so I could see them doing something in like AAA. Dom does a lot of work there, and I think that they could have tag title. They could do a fun run with that. I feel like it would open up like a whole new level of an audience for Liv. I'm not saying that they should take her off of Raw, because obviously they shouldn't. You know, she's one of the most popular women on the Raw roster, but I do think that that would just open up her fan base to maybe being like a little larger than it is now, you know? Of course this is chaotic. Moving on, we got Mr. Solo Dolo Sikoa with Royce Keys and LA Knight. Yeah, I'm so tired of LA Knight. I'm so tired of this entire story. I'm so tired of it. Like, I cannot even explain to you guys how tired I am of this. First of all, it's the microaggressions for me. I just not really a fan of that. Like, there's been multiple things that this man has said, but like making fun of the, I don't know if it's actually called the Haka, because I know the Haka is a Maori, I'm probably saying that wrong, but that is more like a Maori thing, but I know that they did the Samoan version of it, the Usos, when they first started. So to like come out there and like make fun of that, like that is like something that has been like passed down and is like super emotional and important. I don't know, it's just in poor taste in my opinion, because I feel like that a lot of times with the Bloodline in general, like nobody really ever takes it there, but like it feels like LA Knight consistently takes it there. He made fun of the Ulafala, he made fun of the way they said a couple of things, he's making fun of this. I don't know, it feels like it's kind of crossing a line. People might be like, oh, maybe you're being kind of soft about this. I don't know. I just feel like that there's other things that he can make fun of them for. Like it doesn't have to be their culture, like, you know? So it is the Usos and Jacob Fatu versus Royce Key, Solo Dolo Sikoa, and LA Knight. And I think that the Usos and Jacob are actually going to lose because they can't get along. They cannot get along. Jacob doesn't really want anybody to tell him what to do just as much as he is following Roman Reigns, but he doesn't want to listen to the twins. So Jay is hot-headed, and I don't really think that you're not gonna be able to reel him in. I really feel like out of the whole group, the only ones that really can get along are Jacob and Jimmy. And so I don't really see them working together well enough to win this match. I don't see that happening. Maybe that's mean of me to say. I don't see that happening. But I do hope that whatever the outcome is, I really hope that this is the end of the LA Knight bloodline saga, because I'm quite frankly sick of it. I'm so sick of it. It feels like that we are just stuck in the LA Knight bloodline vortex, and if it's not going to lead to a story with him and Roman, then please let it go. We've had enough. It's worse than Drew McIntyre at this point. Like, it's the obsession is there, and I'm kind of over it. I feel like Roman hasn't even addressed Jay losing yet. I feel like that would be a good opportunity to kind of like see like what's going on within the bloodline. Will that cause cracks in the bloodline? I don't really know. I still think Sammy's going to end up back in the bloodline, if you want my opinion, but guess we'll see. But Solo Sikoa is really the funniest fucking wrestler on that roster other than R-Truth, and I have been saying this and nobody has listened to me, and it's just funny that now we're seeing people finally give this man the credit that he deserves. He's always been funny, guys. He's always been funny. That's never been a question. He's always been funny. So people who are just like, oh, Solo's great, Solo's so funny, where you been? Where have you been? You know? He's been funny. So we have Nick Aldis and Gunther. I have been waiting for this match. Let me tell you, I have been waiting for this match. I'm so excited. It's finally happening. I hope they beat the crap out of each other. I don't think Nick Aldis is going to win, and there's a reason why. I think that Nick Aldis is not going to win because I think that it's going to cause him to crash out, and then because he's crashing out, he's going to want to continue to either have another match with Gunther or wrestle people. And he also had beef with Drew McIntyre. You have to remember, he had beef with Drew McIntyre before Drew took a break to film or whatever he's doing. So I could definitely see Drew returning either at SummerSlam or right after. And I could see him and Nick kind of playing out that story. But Nick is younger than half of the people that have a title right now. Like, he's not even 40 yet. He's only like 38 years old. Again, age doesn't matter, but like if he can still go, like why not? Like have him still go. Why would we not have him still go? You know what I mean? Like was such a good wrestler in TNA. I want to say he went by the name Magnus. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that because like I don't watch TNA that much, I'm not gonna lie, but I really think that it's going to just be chaotic, and I do think that Adam Pearce might need a couple drinks after this, but I would like to see him kind of do that dual role where like he is the GM, but also at the same time he is like having matches with people, and like Adam Pearce would just like step in and out. I think it's going to be a really good match. I'm really happy that they went and did this because it does feel like that Gunther's like, I guess, path and booking and storyline, it just feels like it's kind of been a little all over the place in my opinion. Like, he beat John Cena and retired him. He retired AJ Styles, and it's just, I don't know. It just feels like they don't know what to do with him, and I almost feel like putting him in a storyline and maybe having him not win every match, but just kind of like continue to bother people that are, you know, just be a big bother, be a big heel like he is. I think that would be fine for him rather than just putting him with these random, like there hasn't really been a trajectory for him. They just keep having him do rematches with Cody for the title that Cody for whatever reason keeps beating him. It's just, it's interesting. I mean, that's how the Nick Aldis story started, but I feel like the Nick Aldis story with Gunther actually makes the most sense out of like any storyline he's been in this year. Now, if you watch WWE Unreal, you would see that John Cena handpicked Gunther to retire him, and John Cena wanted Gunther to tap him out because John Cena thought it was funny, like the person that never gives up gave up, which we were all mad. I was mad. I was like, how does the person who never gives up give up? Like, how does that happen? But seeing the work that went into that match, I kind of understand more now, I guess. So whatever, but I think it's going to be a good match, but I do think that Gunther's going to win because I think that will lead Nick Aldis to crash out more, and he will continue to wrestle and not be in that GM role, so we will see. Fatal Influence and the Bellas. I actually have a theory about this match. So Nikki just returned. We know that they lost their titles at Saturday Night Main Event to Fatal Influence. I think that Fatal Influence is going to win, and I think that they're going to win and they're going to pin Paige, and I think when they pin Paige, that is going to cause Nikki to crash out and turn on Paige. And so I think that Brie's gonna be hesitant at first, like what's going on, like she doesn't know like if she wants to do that, and eventually I think Nikki will persuade her to like be on board with her, and they turn on Paige, and I think this would lead to a perfect AJ Lee return. I don't know whether that's at SummerSlam. I don't know if that would be after SummerSlam, but the whole storyline AJ Lee had with the Bellas, like they were like her wrestling soulmates in a way. Like she had so much beef with them, so everybody knows that her and Paige, they had beef here and there too, obviously, but they tagged together multiple times. I feel like it would be like such a full circle moment if we did have that storyline happen, and it would be like AJ and Paige kind of being together and them having beef with the Bellas, and that story could go on and be so good just because of the nostalgia effect. Like I just feel like that would give the Bellas and Paige and AJ all like something to do, maybe without even holding titles, but just a good storyline that I feel like that the women's division could use in general. So that's my predictions. I think the Fatal Influence is going to beat them. CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. I don't really care. I mean, I care. I want Punk to win, but I don't really know who's going to win at this point. I don't know, and the reason why I don't know is that I will get to, obviously, to my night 2 predictions in my next video, but I think that Roman is going to beat Seth and stay as the heavyweight champion, and I think that as much as I don't want it, I think that the company wants Roman and Cody part 3, and they could do that at Crown Jewel. That doesn't mean that Cody has to win at SummerSlam. I think that Cody could still lose to Punk, and somewhere down the line before Crown Jewel, I don't know exactly when Crown Jewel is, I want to say I think it's in October, if I'm not mistaken. There's time, it's only August. I think that Cody will have that title back before Crown Jewel, but I don't think it's actually necessary that he beats Punk for it at SummerSlam. And I almost feel like he shouldn't, because last SummerSlam is when he took the title off Cena, so I feel like Punk got fucked over last SummerSlam. Like, if you don't remember, Seth Rollins cashed in on Punk. Fortunately, I had to watch this at last SummerSlam, so I feel like it would be nice to let Punk keep this title at SummerSlam this year, since he got screwed over so bad last year. So I am not gonna lie to you, I am kind of just sick and tired of this whole Cody, and this isn't even me trying to be a hater, but I'm just sick and tired of it. Cody needs a title back. He just keeps getting rematches, and not for nothing, but Roman never got his rematch for that title back. I'm just saying, like, we gotta call a spade a spade. We gotta state facts here. Cody just gets rematches nonstop, and like, it's kind of a little frustrating because it would just be nice to see him not in that storyline for once. Maybe just for once. I mean, I'm still under the impression that I feel like Sammy was screwed over, and I think Sammy should be a part of the Cody and Punk match, and he's not. Instead, in night 2, he has a match with Finn Balor to be to see who will go on to have a match for that title. But like, Sammy should just already be in that spot. It should be a 3-way match, but whatever. So I am more excited for night 2, I'm not going to lie to you, but I do think that night one is going to be amazing, and I think the match that I'm most excited for night one is either going to be the Hell in the Cell match, or I'm really excited to see Nick Aldis and Gunther have their match. So hopefully it's a good SummerSlam. You know, I won't be there. Wah. But my part 2 for night 2 of my predictions will be up soon, so make sure that you like, subscribe, and follow. Your big-headed girl some love, and I will see you guys next time.